Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
We're coming to you in June. Still playoff hockey going on. No Toronto Maple Leaf playoff hockey, but we've had some time to digest. We've had some time to, just step away from hockey, step away from everything. And now we've come back. Dale has his Maple Leaf shirt on.
We're back in the saddle again.
We're back in the saddle.
I can't believe I'm wearing a fucking Leaf shirt because my heart is still broken. But you know what, man?
You love them?
I'm not over. Well, I'm starting to fall out of love with them.
Yeah. Well, they don't love you.
No, they don't give a fuck about me. So we'll see where it goes, man. But hey, we've hung in this far. It cannot possibly get worse. Can it? It might, actually. It might.
We'll get to that later.
Like, that was, for me, the all-time low. Does not get any lower. That's it. Worse than any of the Boston series. Worse than any. That was it. Like, I don't know.
And does it? And we were talking about this.
Do you feel the same? Do you feel the same way though? Like, that was the worst for me. The worst Leafs loss I've ever witnessed in my life.
After we won't rehash the series, but after the 4-0 win where they completely dominated and they had won 5-1 just 2 games earlier, and they squeaked out a 2-1 win. But after that 4-0 win, they looked like they had taken the life out of Montreal.
Thought it was over, dude.
They had their foot on their throat. They controlled the series. So, yeah, it was probably the biggest collapse we've seen from this core group.
It hurt.
None of these guys were really there in 2013.
No, but 2013, there was no expectations. It was like, if they would have won, great. They battled back from a 3-1 deficit in that series to force a game 7 and then ended up losing. But
with a 4-1 lead.
Here's the difference. There was no expectations. Yeah. There was no expectations on that team. And then, the first year against Washington, no expectations. They made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. It was great. All the young kids, looks awesome.
And that was supposed to be the learning curve.
There you go. 2 year, and then 2 years in a row against Boston after that. But again, heavy underdogs going into that series. And we're like, okay, could have beat them, could have won both series, but they didn't. But again, not jumping off the bandwagon at this time because we're like, well, it's Boston.
But then they got Columbus in the play-in round.
The last 2 years have been a shit show.
Yeah.
The last Montreal and Columbus.
They were the favorite against Columbus. They blew it. They were the favorite against Montreal. They blew it. Those two series against the Bruins,
they could have won either way. And honestly, the Leafs should have won at least one of those series, but they didn't. And here we are now with 4 consecutive first round exits. They didn't even make the fucking playoffs last year. A play-in series. Okay. So we went from not making the playoffs to another first round exit. So
winning the North Division, having a 3-1 series lead, losing in 7.
Am I missing? Hang on.
After that 4-0 win, they never had the lead again.
I know. That's scary. And you know what? Quickly on the Habs have not
given up the lead
since they've not trailed since game 4. Since game 4 against the Leafs.
I don't know if the Habs are super hot right now and just playing out of their league and have horseshoes up their ass and are everything's going their way, or have they figured it out and they've got this going.
They are the fairy tale team right now, but also I think the Islanders are fairy tale too. They were the last in they were 4th seed in their division, the Islanders as well. But I think the Islanders are going to be in tough against Tampa Bay.
So you think we got an Islanders Canadiens Stanley Cup final?
I say 0 chance.
0 chance.
But I'm not great at picking.
No, we're not. We're terrible.
So
if you go back and listen to our first round picks, they're all gone except Tampa.
I picked Vegas.
Oh, did you? I didn't pick Vegas going to the Final Four.
No, I know. So we both have one team still left in the fight.
Tampa.
No, I didn't. I thought the Panthers were going to beat Tampa. I picked Vegas. Tampa's the only team from the first round that you picked still going. Vegas is the only team from the first round that I picked that's still going. And I'm going to tell you something. Bold prediction, folks. 2021 Stanley Cup champions, Vegas Golden Knights, baby. That team looks like, come on, dude, down 2-0 to Colorado. Beat
that
them 4
series
straight.
was so much fun to watch.
I mean, who's beating them? I don't think Tampa. Well, Vasilevsky maybe, but
Vegas. Okay. In the first round, Vegas played Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Vegas had a little bit of trouble. Minnesota plays like Montreal.
Sure,
they have trouble with the clogging of the neutral zone, but they got by it.
That's right.
They got by it.
But Colorado does everything right. Like I don't see
Colorado
a weakness.
Plays a run and gun style, and
they can do everything though. Colorado, I don't know. Like you're right, but
their goaltending wasn't good. And look at the goalies left. Look at the goalies.
No, I know. But dude, Colorado,
Vasilevsky, Varlamov.
Like I thought the Avs were going to win the cup. I really did. They blew a 2. They were up 2-0, and then they lost 4 straight to Vegas.
They weren't just up 2-0. They destroyed the Golden Knights. What was it, 7-1 and 5-1 or something in the first?
In the first game, because Vegas was coming off the Game 7 with Minnesota, they played Leonard instead of Fleury. So they kind of was just just a gimme game. They thought they were going to lose anyway, and they did. They got smoked. They went down 2-0, and then they flicked the switch, and away we go.
Won 4 in a row. Yeah,
but.
I thought this was Colorado.
Look, if it's anything but Vegas, like I don't want to. You imagine if it's a Montreal, New York Islanders Stanley Cup final? Like I won't watch
ratings through the roof.
I won't watch a second of it. Well, no, I will actually probably because either a Canadian team will win the cup or Lou Lamoriello gets another cup. So we'll get to Lou later.
Anyway, that brings us to where we are now. So I asked you this. I asked you this before we started recording, but let's let the listeners in on it.
Let's let the cat out of the bag, Chad.
Are you happy that Montreal swept the Jets?
No, not a chance. 0 chance.
Does it ease any of the pain that the Jets were terrible against the Montreal system?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. So it doesn't make you feel better that Toronto wasn't the only team to fall to them?
No. Montreal beating Winnipeg the way they did made me feel worse. It made me feel much, much worse because I said, before we started recording, like I said to you, it should have been us. Yeah, it should be us going to fucking, actually, if the Leafs didn't shit the bed, Tampa Bay would be coming into Toronto for fucking game 1 of the semis. Almost there with the semi.
We wouldn't even be playing Vegas.
No, Vegas would be playing the Islanders and it would be the Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning. So, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, not the case. But no, it pissed me off so much more. Dude, I've literally been going back and forth in my head the last couple weeks. Like, do I want to still do this? I don't mean the podcast. I mean, like, do I want to still be with these guys? Like, it's hard to love them. I love them so much. I want to see nothing. I want to see a fucking Stanley Cup. But
how did you feel after like the exit interviews and stuff with the media?
Oh God,
did you feel? I kind of got the sense that they were kind of being smug towards the fans. Like I get being pissed at the fans who were like attacking you on social media and stuff. But for the true diehard fans who were heartbroken, there was only like 3 players that came out and were like, "We feel awful, but we're gonna right this ship and get it."
And it wasn't the 2 main guys making the most money that were the most responsible for the fucking loss.
No, Matthews and Marner came out and were kind of like, "Hey, it's not our fault."
Nonchalant. Do not love that. Not love that.
JT played 10 minutes and almost died on the ice. He took more responsibility for the series.
Did you see Nathan McKinnon's? We're doing this right after Game 7 or Game 6 was last night between Vegas and Colorado.
Yeah,
so
we're doing it. It's Friday night.
Did you see Nathan McKinnon's presser
I did.
after they got beat out?
There's a guy who took responsibility.
Think that guy wants to win? See that's tough because like they lost 4 straight, and McKinnon was like, I think he was held pointless too, and so it didn't end well for them either.
No,
and they had higher expectations.
They basically
than the
played like 3 more games in Toronto, right? But it was similar. It was a similar situation. You're right. McKinnon didn't get it done. All the pressure was on him to right the ship when they went down 3-2, and he blew it. He held off the score sheet.
But in his presser, he was basically like, I don't give a shit about anything else. I'm going into my 9th year in the league, and I haven't won a fucking thing. Like, I don't care about anything else. People were asking fucking stupid fucking questions. Like, and he's just like, I don't care. I want to win. Like, the reporters are looking, the media is looking for answers as to why Colorado lost and whatever. Like, it's not a simple, like, what do you say? What do you say in that situation? But
that's what I want to hear. I want to hear, I don't give a shit about trophies, and I don't give a shit about Hart trophies and scoring races. And
dude, Nathan McKinnon had
to win.
No. And look, Nathan McKinnon can't go out there post game and be like, "Oh, it's on me. It's on me." He had 8 goals in 5 games in the first fucking round of the playoffs. I think
he did go out there pretty much and say it was on him.
But I just think, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, regardless of that, going back to the Leafs, like, he showed fire. That was my whole point here. And
he showed me you can win with Nate McKinnon.
Oh, without a doubt.
Matthews and Marner showed me, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
And that's a big problem, because now I think it's getting to them mentally. Because how many times can you go through this year after year after year and it not affect your fucking psyche, man? If they're put in that situation again, what gives you any fucking confidence that they're going to fucking be able to do it?
Well, like, and I think that as a fan, that's where I'm at.
That's where I'm at. But hang on, let me flip that.
I've lost confidence.
If they're in that situation again, what would give them any confidence that they're going to be able to do it? Do you know what? That's a hard thing to like.
Yeah, but if you are that type of athlete that you were paid,
let's be honest. Let's be honest.
To figure it out.
Let's be honest. Be honest. Be absolutely honest. Going into Game 7 against Montreal, I hope that they were going to win, but I thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, I did too.
Do you honestly? Do you not?
Yep.
Did you not feel the same way?
Yeah, I felt more. We talked about this on the last podcast we did, but after Game 6, the way they came out and just pretty much sucked until 10 minutes left in the third and tied it up. I was like, after Game 5, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, you took them too lightly, get them in Game 6. After that, I was like, they're done.
Yeah, after the overtime in Game 6, like if they couldn't get it then, it was over. Like it was over. It was over. No chance going into Game 7. So what if we're back here again? What if it happens again? What would be different? We'll get to that. I've got some notes. Let's go to the pressers. Let's go to the locker cleanouts or whatever. Okay. So you were kind of saying,
the shower cleanout.
Yeah, the showers, cleaning out the showers.
Yeah,
the dirty showers.
Get yourself clean the hair out of the drain.
Yes. I cannot confirm or deny if there was a David Duchovny sighting, but I think that there was.
Well, I heard that
red shoes were everywhere.
I heard that they came in to clean out their lockers. They walk into the dressing room. Ed Belfour.
Oh, shit.
In the shower, leather jacket, 2 beers in his pocket.
No, he was
in his hands.
Passed out in the corner, drunk as a fucking skunk.
The shower was on.
Shower was on, of course, but
he was so
I don't think he went in there on purpose. I think someone tossed him in.
He was so upset about Game 7.
Yeah. Bender, full bender,
wound up in the Leaf showers, nothing but a leather jacket on, unzipped.
He wanted to go upstairs and beat the shit out of Larry Tenenbaum, so they say.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
But he ended up in the showers. But look, end of season pressers. Here's, like you kind of hinted on this, accountability. Just some things that came across to me. Like, I get Dubas and Keefe and Shanny standing up for the players. They don't really have a fucking choice. What are you going to say? Do I believe a word that they fucking said? Not for a fucking second. Like, do I think the core is safe?
I disagree, but
what? You believe what about what?
Okay, I believe
they basically were blowing smoke up the 4 guys they're the greatest players that have ever played the fucking game.
I believe that Dubas actually believes in his philosophy and his process and his players.
Well,
but there is a part of me that thinks about Brendan Shanahan in the early 2000s, late 90s, when he was winning those cups with the Red Wings, and he was coming away. Like, you watch him lift the cup over his head. Look at those pictures. He's got scars. He's got black eyes. He's got blood on him. You tell me this guy is going to sit down at the press conference and say, we're on the right track? He knows. Brendan Shanahan knows.
So he's blowing smoke. He's blowing smoke,
but I think Dubas actually believes in those players.
Well, then that's a big problem. And
But how can Shanahan, after winning the cup, knowing what it takes, look at this team and say, "Oh yeah, they're on the right track"?
Not only that, if Dubas and Shanny have watched, I have not watched a lot of hockey since the Leafs got beat out. I left a bad taste in my mouth, man. Interested.
I've been watching it every night.
Okay, so I started
the most boring hockey, Winnipeg, Montreal.
Well, no doubt,
boring.
But I didn't watch a second of the Islanders Boston series. I watched some of the Vegas Colorado series because I felt that the winner, I felt like that I'm watching whoever wins that series is going to win the cup. That was
the best hockey I'd watched all year.
Dubas and Shaney can't be watching that Boston Islanders series or that Vegas fucking Colorado series and think that the Leafs are even in the conversation. Let's be serious here.
But at the same time,
Stanley Cup, that's a far cry from winning a round.
At the same time, there are people right now.
They're living in fantasy.
There are people right now talking about Montreal being able to knock off the Knights and get to the Stanley Cup final.
Could happen,
and I still believe the Leafs are a better team than Montreal.
Doesn't matter. Better how? How are they a better team?
I think they're a better team. I think Montreal is getting a lot of luck right now, and they're playing a system, a boring system, but it's working.
Yeah, the Leafs, okay, they probably are a better team on paper.
I think on the ice they're a better team, but they
weren't in game 5, 6, or 7.
No, but let's look at the series as a whole. They lost their captain in the first 10 minutes. If JT stays healthy and, I don't know, Gallagher, or let's say Shea Weber gets knocked out in the first, or Carey Price. Let's say Carey Price gets knocked out in the first 10 minutes.
Leafs probably sweep them.
So
Four straight.
And then the Jets series, the end of the game, Scheifele, pretty much, I would say the Jets' best player, definitely their best goal scorer, gets suspended for 4 games on a stupid hit. Just these things going the Habs way.
But fuck the Habs. It doesn't matter. It's the Montreal Canadiens. They are where they are. Great. Good for them. I don't think
you're saying the Leafs don't compare to Vegas and Colorado.
Oh, God, man.
The media right now is talking about the Habs could beat the Knights. I don't see it, but...
Well, the Carey Price factor is why I would say they have a chance.
Did you see that quote that said, "Why do you pay a goalie $10.5 million after the Leafs series?" It's why do you pay a goalie $10.5 million? And it's to stop $40 million worth of goal scoring.
True enough.
Yeah.
True enough. But
it's phenomenal. Look, man, I don't think he's even been tested yet.
But hang on. Are you saying that you think the Leafs are as close as Shanahan and Dubas think they are? Because now I think they're fucking delusional if they think that this team is close to winning a Stanley Cup.
I think compared to Boston, compared to the Islanders, compared to Tampa, compared to Vegas, compared to Colorado, I think Toronto's a step behind. What I'm saying is play that Montreal-Toronto series over again and have a couple bounces go Toronto's way and have Toronto stay healthy. I think Toronto wins that series.
Fair enough.
9 out of 10 times. Just the one time everything went wrong for them.
You're right. And I think they would have beat the Jets too. And that would have bought management, the players, the fan base, a lot of fucking slack. We lost to Vegas we lost to Tampa in the semis.
You said it. Well, you said it after game 1. You came on here and you said you were so pumped. It had been such a great season. They won the North Division. And 10 minutes in, your entire, it was just deflated. It was taken away from you.
Yeah, 100%.
And they still took the 3-1 series lead and almost pulled it off and then totally collapsed. But I'm just saying, if shit like that, nothing has happened to Montreal yet. It's been all sunshine and rainbows and good luck for them.
I get that. Okay, let's go back to the shower cleanup.
So let's see what happens in game 1 against Vegas and Montreal. Because I bet Fleury takes a puck to the head and he's gone, and Leonard has to come in, and the Habs win the series.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Watch out, Corey Perry will run Fleury, and that'll be.
They got a lot of weapons though. Pacioretty and what's the guy?
I know, but it just deflates the team, right?
Who's the dude? Who's their captain? The dude that used to play in Ottawa.
Hoffman.
No, it starts with an S.
Mark Stone.
Mark Stone.
Hoffman.
He's got
Mark Stone.
He's turned into Vegas is just dude. What can you say? What can you say?
But, been in the league what? 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? How long have they been in the league?
Went to the Stanley Cup final the first year in the league. Washington Capitals beat them 2018, 17. 18, I think, actually. Yeah, 18. Pittsburgh won it in 16 and 17, I'm pretty
The
sure.
Leafs can't get out of the first round.
No, of course not. But listen, the end of season pressers, here's the thing. Dubas and to a man, okay? Like, some players said some right things, I thought. Yeah. But the main guys making the most amount of money, I'm specifically talking about mustache and mullet, okay?
Yeah.
Our boys, usually on this podcast, Marner and Matthews. Okay. I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like what I heard, and I didn't like the body language. There's just a lot of things I didn't like. And for Dubas and Shanny to Shanny almost pulled a fucking Masai Ujiri. We will win in Toronto. Like, he almost pulled that out of his fucking, he's like, we're going to win with these guys. We're going to win in Toronto. Like, that's what fucking Shanahan opened his presser with. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Have you been like, who is this? Is this Brendan Shanahan? Is he watching the same games we're fucking watching? What is he talking about? Like, it pissed me off, dude. Like, honestly, I had to stop watching.
What is he supposed to say though? Like,
that. Be honest. Be honest.
Is he supposed to come out and be like, these motherfuckers shit the bed?
But no, listen. You don't. Here's what he should have did. Dubas too. Like, Dubas did everything he could. So I don't really pin this on Dubas. Really, I don't. It's on. I still think it's on the player.
No GM is going to be like, I fucked up. Like,
well, Dubas has done that in the past.
He said it's on me, but he can't come out. How many times did he get asked, can you win with 4 guys taking up 40% of your cap or 50% of your cap? He knows no team in the league has ever won with that philosophy,
dude.
But he's got to keep doubling down on it, because what the fuck is he supposed to do?
Okay, well, no, you're right to that extent. But here's what I would have preferred to have seen from the players and from management. You don't have to call out specifically Matthews and Mark. You don't have to say who you're talking about. You can just let's loop the team in as we're talking about the team. Like, call it what it is. Like, it was a terrible loss for our franchise. We did not show nearly enough heart. And like, it's completely unacceptable. This is not acceptable. And there will be big time changes and this will not happen again. That's what they should have fucking said. That's what I wanted to hear.
Now that I hear you say that, I really like that.
That's not what they said. Not even close. They said the opposite of that. They said, we're going to run it back and we're going to win it. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. Oh, you think?
No, they
Good
didn't
luck.
Good luck with that. They didn't even say that. They didn't even say that. They said this is a process. And sometimes you have to lose a bunch of times, but you will win eventually.
And I agree with that to an extent, but not with these guys. Not with these guys. It's different. It feels different.
Yeah. It's like you were saying about Nate McKinnon. Nate McKinnon hasn't got out of the second round.
Yeah, we're not talking about Nate McKinnon. I think Nate McKinnon will win a Stanley Cup.
Exactly. But do you feel the same way? Even though Nate McKinnon hasn't won shit and he's won a couple first rounds, but hasn't really gone far in the playoffs, you still believe he's a winner.
He's got the desire to. He wants it more than anything.
But you don't believe that Matthews and Marner have that?
No, I don't. And
that's what your beef is that they don't see that, or they do see it and they're just blowing smoke.
Like, I know Colorado didn't get it done, and we're just,
But you're not worried that Nate McKinnon?
No. Like, I know we're singling out Nathan McKinnon, but I believe.
Well, we're singling out Matthews and Marner too.
No, well, okay, fair, but no, I mean, as a guy that I believe will get it done, because everything I see about Nathan McKinnon, the way he speaks, the way he reacts, and his fucking performance on the ice, I know Vegas beat them, but like, if Matthews and Marner went down like that, it would still be terrible, but you wouldn't pin it on them. You'd be like, well, fuck, we ran into a better team. That's not what happened to the Leafs. They fucking killed themselves again.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true.
So there's no, and Shannon,
and you can't, Colorado could even make the case that their goaltending kind of sucked. Their goaltending wasn't good. The Leafs can't make that case because I think Jack Campbell was one of their best players in that series. This was Jack Campbell standing on his head. We need goals. You guys are paid $20 million between the two of you to put points on the board.
Oh, dude, I thought Campbell was great. It was specifically the two guys. That's who we're talking about. It's Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. The reason why they lost that series was who Galchenyuk made. Okay, the terrible giveaway in overtime. Galchenyuk made a couple brilliant plays in that series. So did fucking
they don't get to
Kerfoot.
overtime that game without Galchenyuk.
Exactly.
Nylander
5 fucking goals. Like, literally, if Mitch had 2 goals and Austin had 2 goals, they would have swept them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference.
And about that overtime giveaway, the reason Galchenyuk's even on the ice is because at that time the coach is feeling like this guy could get it done because he's the reason that we're tied right now. If Matthews and Marner had tied the game, guess who would have been on the ice at that time? Everything just went to shit because the fucking top 2 guys couldn't get it done. And I agree with you, but moving on.
Well, hang on for a second.
No, we're staying on the presser, but if we move on to the Matthews and Marner's presser,
the accountability factor on the players, like the management.
Do you have their quotes in front of you?
No, I don't. But just in a roundabout way, the whole deal was like, we believe in this core. We believe in the process. And we're going to get it done. Basically, we're going to win with these guys. That's basically their whole sentiment the whole time. Like, do they think we're fucking stupid? Do they think that we are fucking stupid? They must. They must. They must. Like, seriously, they must think we're fucking stupid.
Well, you've got your Leaf shirt on and I've got my Leaf hat on. So how smart are we?
I am fucking stupid.
We are stupid. We're right back at it.
Because honestly,
I took a week off and then like a week later, I was like, you know what? I think they can win the cup next year.
Oh, no. Okay, see, that's the difference with me, man. Here's the deal. I'm going to still pay attention next year because I think Austin's probably going to break the scoring record, all-time franchise, and whoop-de-doo, whatever.
But no one's going to give a shit next year.
I'm sure we'll talk about it because that'll be a franchise-setting record thing. But no,
they could have like a 120-point season and everyone would be like,
no, it's not going to matter.
I don't give a shit.
No, and here's where I'm at with this. Like, I'm not going to stop being a Leafs fan. This one hurt. It hurt a lot. It hurt the most, actually. Terrible. But
like the first time?
But worse. Way worse. Oh. This was epic shit. Bad. Like, I'm not going to there was zero part of me that thinks the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup next season. Zero. But
okay. Is there any part of you that thinks they'll make the playoffs?
Slim.
Yeah. Because they are back in the Atlantic.
50-50 at best, brother. That's the honest truth.
Okay.
50-50
I want to give some props to some of the guys at the press conference at the end of the year. We're shitting on some guys. One, Jason Spezza.
Yeah.
Who I thought was maybe their best forward in the series. He took
3 goals, I think.
He took blame.
Jesus Christ, Muzzin had 2 fucking goals.
He took blame for it, and then he came out and he said, we have unfinished business. We have got to get our head in the game. We got to get back into this.
Dude, Muzzin had 2 goals in the series. He didn't even play game 6 and 7.
Oh, my God.
He went out in the first period of game 6, missed almost entire game 6 and game 7. Muzzin still had 2 fucking goals. Like, seriously. Go ahead, though. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just...
No, I'm just saying, like... Jason Spezza, he came out. Muzzin came out. They said the right things. Tavares came out and took responsibility. The guy played 10 minutes. And then almost died on the ice.
I know.
And he comes out and he's like, we've got to be better. You didn't even play.
Yeah.
And then the 2 guys who didn't show up, who were taking the most heat, they almost came out as if like...
wasn't my fault.
Yeah, almost like
relax
a little bit.
No, remember this one? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? It's my fault? This guy's an idiot here. What are you trying to say? It's my fault?
Yeah, this guy's an idiot here.
That's what it reminded me of.
Well, Matthews, it felt like he spent his press conference just answering questions nonchalantly and then trying to defend Mitch. Mitch came out to try to act like a sad little puppy that was heartbroken. I don't want to see a sad little puppy. I want Mitch to come out and be like, I sucked, but you know what? Next year, I'm going to be the best player on this team come playoff time.
Okay. Well, you're there for a second. Austin Matthews. Do you have his quotes from the presser in front of you when he started talking about Mitch Marner? What the fuck did he say? It was something along the lines of, oh, I think I have it. Mitch is an unbelievable player. This is Austin Matthews speaking on Mitch Marner from the locker cleanouts. Mitch is an unbelievable player. He's an unbelievable teammate. I don't think anybody really thinks about a trade or focuses on it. Everybody loves Mitch and everybody loves everybody in this room. And we really have a tight bond. So I think all the stuff coming from the outside, you guys have fun with that. Okay. You know what I'm going to have fun with? Everybody loves everybody. Why don't we fucking start singing Kumbaya, get in a circle and start fucking jerking each other off? How about that?
That's a little extreme.
Well, everybody loves everybody. They've got the tightest bond in that room. They can't win a meaningful fucking hockey game if their life depended on it. But hey, good for them. Great.
Good.
Break out the fucking acoustics. Let's go. Kumbaya.
There's difference. Like, I love certain things, but there are other things that I will fucking fight for.
How many teams do you think have won? I don't give a fuck if everybody loves everybody. I don't fucking care. Win. Like, how many teams do you think have won championships where they've got all kinds of guys on the team that don't like each other? Tons. Fucking tons. It's not about everybody fucking liking each other.
But
it's about winning hockey games when it matters.
These guys have gotten everything that they've wanted because they want everything to be perfect.
Okay, everybody likes
got their
everybody.
Money, they got their coach, they got all the players they wanted around them. They love each other, man.
And what have they done to love the fucking organization?
No, this is where you need. I hate to be the guy that says this, but this is where you kind of miss Lou Lamoriello.
Oh God!
Because Lou doesn't care if you love each other. Lou would put a guy like Trotz behind the bench. He would put guys on the team and hold you accountable.
Could you imagine? Like, look, I was all.
Could you imagine them negotiating those contracts with Lou instead of Dubas?
Like Marner be
making
more year,
$3 million right now.
Like, I was all in. Oh, no doubt. Six probably. Like, to be honest, probably 6.
Or he'd be gone.
If
he's like, no, I'm not signing that. He'd be like,
no,
okay, great.
They wouldn't play the agents. Okay, they're 8. Dubas dealing with the agents of Marner, Matthews, and Nylander. Like if those agents were dealing with Lou would be like, here's what he's getting. Call me when you're ready. Click.
Yeah, and the agent would be like, we want 10. And he'd be like, okay,
no, here's what he's getting. Call me when you're ready.
Yeah, or he'd call him back 10 minutes later and be like, so tell Mitch that he's been traded to Minnesota so he can pack his bags. And hopefully Minnesota will give you your $10 million.
You can throw Dubas into the Austin Matthews quote. Everybody loves everybody. Dubas is like that too.
You know what?
Like, let's turn the kumbaya down a tad here, fellas.
The best thing Dubas could have ever done, and I bet if he went back in time he would do this, is let Nylander miss an entire year.
Because then he looks like he's not a fucking pushover.
Well, then the other guys they won't threaten to sit out. Like, if he had just been like, okay, Willie, go have fun playing in Sweden with college kids. Come back when you're ready to sign for a reasonable number.
There's so many ifs and buts, man. Like, people are like, oh, look how Lou's built the Islanders since he took over there. And like, yeah, he's done a great job. Like, their success is undeniable.
Exactly what you say. Lou builds teams that don't. It doesn't matter if we all get along.
Hang on. No, you're right. But hang on 1 second here. When Tavares decided to leave Long Island and join the Maple Leafs, Lou Lamoriello had that same contract on the table, 8 years for John Tavares, and he would have gladly gave it to JT. JT chose not to take it and to go to Leafs. But JT, like, Lou would not. It's not like Lou's like anti fucking big money. He was going to pay. He was going to pay Tavares the same money the Leafs paid him to stay.
Right, but Lou will pay proven veterans, proven players. And when you look at JT and his work ethic, Lou will pay for that. But
in hindsight, Lou's thinking the best thing that ever happened was John walking away.
But also, what Lou wouldn't do is negotiate with 20-year-olds for $10 million contracts. He wouldn't do it.
No chance.
He wouldn't do it.
No fucking chance. Who are we talking about here? Lou Lamoriello. He's like the godfather of fucking...
If you think Mitch Marner had a couple good seasons and hadn't really done anything, hadn't won anything, if his agent had to call up Lou Lamoriello and be like, we want 6 years at 10 point, and we got to have 9.3 in there because of Doug Gilmour, my junior number.
Dude.
Lou would have been like, he would have flushed that call just like Dubas flushes Hutch.
Mitch Marner would be making $6 million, maybe 6.5 right now. William Nylander might be making 4.5 or 5. That's
they would be on. Remember the contracts Lou signed,
and Austin would probably still be up in the JT range. That's what I think. But at
the same time, Lou signed Zaitsev to like a 7-year, almost $5 million contract.
Right. Okay, that was a bad contract.
Yeah. So it's not like
But he's got tons of good. And okay, but look at all the good contracts he signed with the Leafs. Morgan Riley. Nazem Kadri.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's great. He's great at negotiating with young players.
Dude, Lou Lamoriello signed all these contracts with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Freddie Anderson, $5 million. Morgan Riley, $5 million. Nazem Kadri, $5 million with term. All these guys.
Nazem Kadri was actually 4.5.
Around the $5 million. Connor Brown, like $2 million. Whatever. Zach Hyman, $2 million. Like, I'm forgetting somebody too, but like it's insane that he just was like, he's got his ballpark in his wheelhouse, and he's kind of Lou's kind of shitty at signing contracts with veterans. Like he overpaid Marlowe, he overpaid Zaitsev, who wasn't really a rookie. Sure,
he had played in the KHL.
A couple bad contracts, but some really good. But
when it came to the young guys,
same with Dubas.
Yeah, when it came to the young guys, Lou he didn't fuck around. He's like, you're getting 4 years, $2 million. Like he set the price and that was it.
Yeah.
But Dubas, he lost on the Nylander thing, and then it just kind of snowballed into like he gave Austin Matthews. Matthews is worth his money, but he's only 5 years.
No, you're right. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I did not foresee Lou Lamoriello going to the New York Islanders and having the success that he had. I just didn't see it. Honestly, I don't think anybody did. But so that changes. Like, oh, what would you do? Would you have kept Lou?
The guy's like, what? He's got to be 80 years old.
Yeah. In retrospect, of course, you keep Lou Lamoriello. But at the time, Kyle Dubas, this up and comer, analytics, smart hockey mind, the future of the game, it kind of makes more sense to like, let's go with the kid that might be our GM for the next 20 years. Like Lou was in New Jersey.
Colorado and a couple other teams were knocking on the door.
So it forced Shanahan's hand, basically.
It forced Shanahan. Do you promote Dubas now? Because in a perfect world, he probably would have let Dubas have a couple more years. He probably would have signed Lou, extended his contract 1 or 2 years.
Well, Lou was going to stay on as like a...
He was never going to do that.
No, but that was the plan.
I think in a perfect world, Shanahan would have loved to have Lou for 2 more years and Dubas run the Marlies for 2 more years. But all these teams started knocking, and you can't blame Shanahan for being like, okay, Dubas is like 30 whatever years old. He could go on to be one of the best GMs in the league for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
And we're going to let him walk for Lou Lamoriello, who could be dead in 15 years.
It's a hard call. In retrospect, today, as we sit right now,
yes,
before we know what happens next year,
and I probably would have made the same decision. At
the time, yes. Looking back now, I don't think I would make that decision.
Well, you can't say that now with 2020 vision. At the time, you would have made it.
Yes, at the time, I 100%, like without a doubt. But was it the wrong decision? It looks like it was.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about maybe they made. Maybe Mark Hunter should have been the guy. Well, if Mark Hunter was supposed to be the guy, how come no other team is picking up since then?
No, he didn't get offered.
This was a Dubas versus Lamoriello. They went with the kid, and let's give Dubas some slack. He's learning right now, and you know what's going to happen? The Leafs are going to end up firing Dubas. He's going to go and he's going to win like 15 Stanley Cups with some other.
Yep, I said that to somebody the other day. I still think Dubas has a future in the National Hockey League.
He's an amazing.
Yeah, whether it's with the Leafs,
trades and shit he's pulled off, the cap maneuvers.
Yeah, maybe he pulls a rabbit out of his hat and something happens. Actually, it's not even like maybe the guys show up for him in the playoffs next year. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. There you go. If they win the first, if the Leafs are in the Final Four right now, we're blowing sunshine up Dubas and Shanahan's ass. And
of course,
they did it.
If they shit the bed next year again and they miss the playoffs, or they would, and we'll see what happens in the offseason with Dubas and management, like what moves they make. But if they've missed the playoffs or another first round exit, Shanahan's gone. Dubas is gone and Keefe is gone. If I'm Kyle Dubas, I'm walking right down to the showers, shaking everybody's hand on the way out and saying, thanks a fucking pant load, boys. Thanks for help. I gave you everything. I gave you everything you fucking wanted, and you guys couldn't win me a fucking meaningful game in my entire fucking time as GM. Thanks a lot.
You know what's going to happen? These guys still have term left on their contract. If they lose next year, Rodgers and Bell are going to fire Dubas. They're going to fire Shanahan.
Clean house.
And they're going to – your whole kumbaya in the shower thing going on is done. There's a GM going to come in who's not going to love you, who's not going to love the team. There's going to be a new president who doesn't love you, who didn't pick you, didn't draft you.
Yeah.
Things are going to fucking get ugly.
But it'll take – so if it doesn't work next year – everybody's gone management wise, but new staff will be in, but then they'll take a year to evaluate the guys if they're still there. Like they're not going to start.
And then Matthews will be at the end of his contract.
There we go. So it's like it's clock's ticking here. Like, you know how, like,
but a new manager's not just, if you love it here and you love your manager and you love your coach and you love everything about this room, then you better fucking win.
Yeah, this
because if you don't win,
this is it.
Sheldon Keefe is done. Kyle Dubas is done. Brendan Shanahan's done.
Okay, let's go here. Let's go here for a second. Back to Shanny talking about killer instinct. They don't have. We don't. What did he say? We don't have. They don't have. We don't have. How did he word it? He was talking about killer instinct. Did he say they don't have?
We don't have killer instinct yet.
Okay.
I don't know what would give him that idea. 0-8 in elimination games. What would give you the idea that you don't have killer instinct?
Would killer instinct, could you also phrase it as maybe this is stretch?
Balls.
Well, I was going to say
you don't
heart.
have balls.
I was going to say heart.
Sorry, heart.
I was going to say heart. Could you replace killer instinct with heart, or do you not think that works? Is it different?
No, I think heart, balls, killer instinct, all the same thing.
Okay, so then all three of those things, killer instinct, big balls, and what was the other one? No, heart. So here's the
heart, balls, and heart.
That's right. So here's the problem here. Shanahan's saying, killer instinct, like they've yet to learn how to close it out. And I'm sorry. I am fucking sorry. That's not a teachable ingredient. You can teach skill. You can teach like possession and plays and all that. You cannot teach somebody to show up when you need them most. I don't. No, you can't.
You can't teach it, but you can learn it.
I don't agree with
that.
The
Edmonton Oilers of the 80s, they lost a bunch of times. Boston Bruins lost a bunch of times in the early 2000s, like the Marchand, Bergeron, the Gretzky, Messier. They learned and they came back. The difference is that
but the reason you don't always
the difference
lose
is that those teams kept showing little bits of improvement.
Hang on, Chad. Let me get this in. You don't always lose because you don't have heart. Sometimes you run up against a team that's just fucking better. Like maybe those guys played their fucking asses off and played with fucking heart all day long, but lost to a better fucking team. Like I don't see that with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're not showing up and busting their balls and fucking Zach Hyman every fucking night in, night out, every fucking shift. That's not what they're doing. They're just like, whatever. Like we win, we lose, fucking whatever, man. Like it doesn't seem, they don't seem that interested in like here's the heart of the Leafs. I wear it on my fucking chest. We're doing anything. I will do anything to win this fucking game tonight. I don't see that out of unfortunately, they're top paid guys. I'm not including Tavares because I think John does have heart. He loves the Toronto Maple Leafs.
We're not talking about the whole team. There are guys
on the four guys making the most money. John Tavares loves the Leafs more than fucking any of them. Period.
And we should say Willie Nylander I thought was really good at the end of the press conference because he's usually the most nonchalant, the most, I'm just gonna go to the beach and have women stare at me for the summer, doesn't care.
Well, he's still gonna do that.
He's still gonna do that, but he looked pissed.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, he did his part.
Yeah, I think Willie actually really wanted to win this year.
But with saying that, I would trade Willie Nylander.
Whoa!
Right now.
Whoa!
Anything else you want to say about the killer instinct and the lack of heart and all that shit. Like,
okay, I will say one thing, and I forget where I read this. It was in a book. I read it years ago. In the book, it was a hockey book, and it was a veteran who had never won a cup, and he talked about when he was younger in the league that he wished he had what you're saying, killer instinct, heart and balls. But he's like, to be perfectly honest, I would sit on the bench in a game 7 and the game would be tough and we would be losing. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, if we lose, I mean, I'll go to the cottage. It's going to be a great summer. You know what I mean? He wasn't thinking about, and he talked about that. He wasn't thinking about winning. He wasn't thinking like, no, I got to win if I don't win. And then he got to the end of his career and he didn't have a cup and he was like, shit. But it was someone who played a long time and didn't win a cup.
Dude, Austin Matthews, game 7 was on a Monday night, May 31st. I remember it well. I'll never forget it. Tuesday, June 1st, back in Arizona with the folks. The next fucking day. Did not stick around for the shitstorm of the media and all that. Did the fucking...
Well, I don't blame him. I would get away too. And if I was Mitch Marner, I'd get away.
Sorry. Not June 1st. They did the fucking locker clean out. It was like Wednesday.
Mitch stuck around.
He lives here. Austin on a... Yeah, but as soon as the season's over...
Reportedly, his agent and his parents told him, get on a plane, go away for a couple weeks.
Well, no kidding.
He stayed.
Well, okay.
Can you imagine being Mitch Marner going to get groceries and stuff in the city?
Oh, after that? Impossible. No way. You couldn't do it. I wouldn't leave I wouldn't leave the house for. I still would not have left the house to this point. Yeah, I'm not even joking.
My point is, from reading that book is I sense that they have that.
No, but my point is, why do these guys give a? Why does Austin Matthews give a fuck about the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Because they pay him.
Okay.
If I paid you $11 million, would you care about me?
I don't know. Depends. If I
paid you $11 million to, protect my house.
No, let's.
Would you actually protect my house, or would you be like, let's keep it? You know what? If the house burns down, I'm going to go to the cottage.
Look, okay. Personally, if I was good enough, like, let's go back to the hockey. Okay, if I played for the Florida Panthers and I was making a crazy amount of money, but my heart is with the Leafs, but I just didn't so happen to play for the Leafs. I played with the Panthers. Eventually,
but you're a professional.
Yeah, eventually I would just be like, okay, like, I want to win a fucking cup. I'm not playing in Toronto, so here's where I am. Like, this is where I'm going to do it or try to do it. So, but not everybody's like that. Like, some people are just like, it goes back to the killer instinct, and it goes back to the not having heart, and maybe the lack of not giving a shit. And here we go with the not give a shit meter, because it seems pretty fucking off the charts right now.
Yeah, I think it's different for them. Like, I don't think they're as invested as fans. Like, they grow up as fans, but
which is sad, and that is a problem. The fans are more invested, way more invested. The fans.
Well, I think Matthews will play his heart out for Toronto, but people are like, oh, he's an Arizona Coyotes fan. Yeah, he was as a kid, but this guy's played for Swiss teams. He's played for the American Developed League.
When you and I were fucking watching like 90s, 2000s Leafs, okay?
That was different.
No, I get that, but hang on a second. So for us, and I'm not, there's a lot worse than us, but we're pretty bad. We're getting older too. Like, we've seen a lot of fucking terrible things with this hockey team in our lifetime.
Yeah, we're 23 years old. We've seen a lot.
I know, Jesus. Like, it's crazy how much we've seen in our lifetime with this bad things with this team. But honestly, man, like, when a loss like that, epic loss after epic loss after epic loss, it hits. Do you think Austin is like wearing anything but the last 5 years or 6 years? That's it. He's like, yeah, we haven't got out of the first round since I've been here, but the history of the team, do you think Austin Matthews gives a fuck about like the Clark and Gilmore days or the Sundin days? And
no,
Cujo?
They talk about that.
Like, come on, man.
I often think
we've lived through all that shit. So
Mitch does. Mitch's favorite player was Doug Gilmore. Mitch grew up. He watched Darcy Tucker and them. He was young, but he watched them.
Yeah,
like, he grew up a Leaf fan. So What's his beef for not having heart?
I don't know. Look, all I'm saying is this. Well, he just seems to shy with the puck over the glasses, and he's shying away from hits on fucking Gallagher from Gallagher in Game 7. He's crying in the fucking penalty box. He's literally crying. Like,
maybe he put so much pressure on himself.
Come on, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. When he did his post game and he did the sad puppy dog, like he kept making the face like he was going to cry.
I don't want to see that shit.
No. I don't want to. I want to see the Darcy Tucker.
I want to see him. I want to see emotion, but not the sad emotion. I want to see. I'm fucking angry that I'm not playing well and that we're not winning.
I don't even want to see angry. I want to see determined. I want to see someone sit down in that chair and be like, "Okay, yeah, we lost, and it was epic. If next year, I guarantee." Remember, Doug Gilmour took the microphone and basically said, "We are going to do something for you, Toronto. I guarantee that." And then they went on the run. I want Mitch to sit down and say that. Like, next year, we're going to do something.
Quick break. We're going to do a little bit of an extended version because you're not going to hear from us again until probably the end of July. I don't know when the draft is. Do you know when the draft is? They don't have a first round pick anyway.
Who gives a shit?
Trade, barring a blockbuster trade, you probably won't hear from us until I think free agency is July 28th. So we'll go a little bit longer.
But you can check out our new podcast that we're going to be starting in the summer, where we interview ladies from the 90s. Our first guest, Lisa Turtle. That episode will be out probably late July. It's called Kelly Kapowski.
That's what it's called. Interviewing Lisa, but it's called Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah, the show's called Kelly Kapowski. No, we haven't named the show yet, but basically we're just going to interview. We have Topanga lined up as a guest. We have Kelly Kapowski. We have Brenda, Shannon Doherty from 90210.
We should just find another Kelly and call it Kelly. Kelly from 90210, Kelly Kapowski. We got to think of another Kelly. If we just call it Kelly.
Why don't we do?
Hang on. Do you remember Jill? Do you remember Jill Kelly?
I remember. Yeah, of course I remember Jill Kelly. You gave me
a nice tattoo on her ass cheek of a heart.
You gave me a lot of VHS tapes with Jill.
Yeah, her and Jenna Jameson. Take a quick break. Lots more to come.
Kelly Jelly.
But before we take a quick break, one question for you: Can the Toronto Maple Leafs win? Keeping Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, John Tavares, and William Nylander. Can they win with those four guys? Yes or no? Let's not go long-winded on it.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, they can. Will they? I don't know. But can they? Obviously, yes, they can.
Okay. I don't think they can.
They can.
I don't think they can.
Will they win? I don't know.
I haven't seen enough.
Anyway, we're going to take a short break. Stick around. We got more to talk about on the Leafs. And we'll also get into Kelly Jesse.
Ah, yes.
You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. You know, sometimes we have to cut things from the show because we're too drunk and we're just rambling. Well, here's one of those clips, straight from the cutting room floor. This is Chad and Dale talking Eddie Belfour, showers, and leather jackets. Enjoy.
After Leafs got beat out by the Flyers in overtime, Jeremy Roenick scored that overtime goal.
Eddie Belfour walked into the dressing room.
He pulled his leather jacket over his head.
He took everything off. Everything.
He took all his shit off, and then he put his leather jacket on.
No clothes, just a leather jacket.
Yeah, did not zip it up.
Didn't. And then walked straight into the shower and just started soaping up.
Oh, my God.
To tell the media I'll be there in a minute. I just need some leather coat.
Oh my God. Okay, but we found out why he had the leather jacket on. We found out why he did it. We found out why he did it. He did it because there were pockets in the jacket. There were pockets where he could put his beer cans so that he didn't have to sit them on the floor to bend over. he could just reach in his pocket and grab
Oh God.
Oh my God. That's why he did it. There's got to be a reason why he did it. That's why he did it, man.
So he put on the leather coat, loaded the pockets full of beer.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, okay. He wanted an early jump on it. He wanted an early start. He didn't want to wait until after the. He didn't want to wait to go to the bar. He wanted to start in the shower.
You imagine the rookies?
Now that's a wet block. Holy hell.
Imagine the rookies going into the shower and seeing the veteran goalie with his leather coat, soaping himself up in the shower with beers in his. Welcome back. So, Dale, where do you want to take this thing?
Okay. Couple points, I guess, a little more than a couple, but we'll go. I want to go here with this. This is, I would say, partly management to blame for thinking they are better than they actually are. But the way I see it, man, like this team is fucking handcuffed. They are fucked, basically. And what frustrates me most about it right now is we're looking at Morgan Riley going into the last year of his deal. We're looking at Zach Hyman, unrestricted free agent. We just talked about killer instinct and having heart. Well, nobody on the team has it more than that guy. Are they letting him walk? Because they are so fucking glued to the fucking core four guys that Zach Hyman has to fall on the fucking axe? Answer that one for me.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, but Shanahan just blew smoke up our ass about killer instinct and heart and blah, blah, blah. Who has it more than fucking Zach Hyman? I don't think he was healthy in the playoffs either, by the way. He's coming off of the fucking knee injury. But
I'll tell you one guy that had a lot of heart that I loved on this team that fell on the axe so that Mitch Marner could get his contract.
Connor Brown, baby.
Connor Brown was a lot like Zach Hyman, smaller, but would I have loved to have Connor Brown on the wing instead of Galchenyuk or any of these other guys? Absolutely. But he had to fall on the sword that those top four guys could get paid.
Connor Brown, talk about giving a guy a shot higher up the lineup. Look what he's done. Imagine him playing on he could play on the top line with Austin Matthews, man. No problem.
Yep. And if Willie, Mitch, and Austin had have just taken a little less each, Connor Brown would still be on the Toronto Maple Leafs. But Mitch had to have $10 million. So somebody's got to go.
Yeah. Guess who's next?
Zach Hyman.
They can't re-sign him.
There's no way that Mitch doesn't look back at all of this and say to himself, if I could go back in time, I'd take like 7 or 8.
Oh, I don't. Well.
I think the Leafs offered him $7 million for 11 years. $77 million.
I don't even think you can offer 11 years anymore.
Or 10 years or whatever
it is. The max. I think 8 is the max.
Okay. They offered him the max at $7 million. And he was like, no. He took whatever, 2. Okay. If it's
he ended up signing for 6 years.
6 years, but
for almost $11 million.
But still, like,
he played I'm as important to this team as Austin Matthews is. That was the card.
But what he's realizing now is that you're as important as the guys on the third line and the fourth line.
When it counts the most.
But
here's what really fucking... I love Zach Hyman. I know how you feel about Zach Hyman. Sure. Is he older than Mitch and Austin and Willie? Yeah, he is. But, dude, you can't have your president and your GM talk about killer instinct and we need more of that and this kind of shit. And then you let Zach Hyman walk for nothing. Here's another. We'll get back into Hyman in a second. Check this out. Let's call it own rentals, okay? Own rentals. Do you know how many fucking guys this organization has let walk for nothing because management thought that they were better than the team was better than they actually were, and that they actually had a shot at winning in the playoffs? Bozak, JVR, gonna be now Freddie Anderson, probably Hyman. Are they gonna go into Riley's last year of his deal and let him fucking walk too because they think they're better than they are? How many guys are you losing for fucking? You're not getting anything for these guys. You imagine letting Freddie Anderson go for nothing? Nothing?
Well, that's a guaranteed. That's gonna happen.
No, I know, but like, talk about that's mismanagement 101, bro. Trade it. You gotta trade, like, that's insane to me to lose a goalie of that caliber for fucking nothing.
I think that's the title of the podcast right there. Mismanagement 101, bro.
What could they have got for Bozak? What could they have got for JVR? Like, I'm sure I'm forgetting guys too, but like,
but what happened to Bozak when he left?
Yeah, he won a Stanley Cup, but why did they keep those guys? Because they thought they were better than they were. They thought they had a chance. Own rentals. That's the term, right? Own rental. We're going to keep this guy. We know we're going to lose him, but we'll keep him because we think he'll help us win in the playoffs. Time after time after time after time. It didn't fucking happen. Like, it's just you.
Yeah, you've got to learn, I guess, eventually that either you trade these guys at the deadline or in the offseason to get something back, or you don't pile all your money into 4 players so that you can keep these guys.
Well, that's the bigger problem. That's the bigger problem. So,
and that's why at the presser, everybody was asking, hey, can you win with $40 million tied up in 4 players, or more than $40 million tied up in 4 players? Like, can you win with this?
It's a clear-cut answer. It's no. You can't.
Well, it didn't only – Carey Price was the first player making double digits ever to move on to the second round.
Yeah.
That's got to tell you something right there. Look at Boston.
Leafs have 3.
Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, all on great deals. Yeah. It gives them the flexibility to make a roster around them. Tampa Bay gives them the flexibility to make a roster around them. Colorado, Vegas, Toronto –
yeah,
you're going to be putting Wayne Simmons in, Jason Spezza, Joe Thornton. You've got to find those and hope that you're going to find a recipe. When really we need Zach Hyman's, we need Connor Brown's to be on this team for the long haul. But it's not happening.
That's just it. They're preaching one thing in the media availability when they're cleaning out the fucking showers. They're preaching this fucking killer instinct, and like, we need more of that. But
yet they keep getting rid of the guys who have it.
There you go. There you go. Connor Brown would be beautiful here right now. Having Hyman come back would be great. I'm going to tell you right now.
Because Mitch Marner wanted 10.993.
I know.
You have Galchenyuk instead of Connor Brown.
Look, just straight up. Is Zach Hyman a Leaf next year?
I don't know how, if he wants more than $5 billion, I don't know how they do it. Have you seen their cap?
Yeah, they're fucked.
They're fucked.
With the flat cap.
Moving.
No, dude, I don't want to say zero chance, but it's very slim, because if Elliot Friedman and Chris Johnson and all these guys who know what the fuck they're talking about, apparently, are saying that teams would be lining up to pay Zach like 6 times 6 and whatever, like, you would have to be an insane human being right now coming off of this loss. If I'm Zach Hyman, I'm like, sorry, boys, it's time to go. Like, I'm leaving.
And if you think about it, man, like, I don't know. That's a lot of money. Like, 6 times 6 is $36 million. If the Leafs offer you 4 times 5, that's 20. You're leaving $16 million on the table.
Right. And he could probably go somewhere. Like, I don't know what Florida's got available for cash, like the Panthers. I don't know what Colorado's got available.
Crazy? They trade him to Toronto and then they sign him back at a ridiculous contract.
I don't know what Florida. I don't know why that. I'm just trying to, like, I was trying to go with like a no tax thing where he could make like all the money. Because even if he signed for 5 here, he's only going to make like 3.5. But
right. But he gets paid in American dollars.
Sure.
So if you live in Canada, tax doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I got it. But
10 million Americans, like what, 16 million Canadian?
look, I don't blame Zach Hyman for walking because he's approaching 30. This is going to be his ticket to cash. So unless his wife is like, they just had a baby and like our roots are here and he's doing book deals. Did you hear on Overdrive? I think they were talking about like, why don't they sign him for, it might not have been Overdrive, but I'm pretty sure it was. Why don't they sign him for like $1 million for 8 years, but signed by like whoever the publishing company who publishes his books for like $50 million. Did you hear that, Dave?
And just keep pumping out his books?
Yeah. We're going to pay you $50 million for as many children books you want to write for the rest of your life, but you're going to pay like $1 million or $2 million to play hockey for us.
And we'll pay you, like, even when you're 50 years old, we'll still pay you to write children's books.
That's a deal that like no other franchise can
that's
offer.
the gift that keeps on giving.
That's the gift that keeps on giving. But
the Leafs can do things like that. That is the other thing.
Bet Jerry would lose it.
That is the other thing, though. You always have to be,
dude. That's Uncle Dennis shit. That's Uncle Dennis shit.
I know, but you have to be conscious about that in Toronto. Okay, Zach Hyman. I listen to the radio. He's constantly doing the commercials. He's got the Head and Shoulders commercial. He's doing the lawyer commercials, Zokoloff or whatever it is.
If you or your family get hurt in an accident,
see, you know it.
Dude, of course.
Okay, if this dude goes to Florida, do you think any advertiser in Florida is going to be like, we should get Zach Hyman to do our commercials?
Probably not.
No, they don't give a shit. They'd rather get a NASCAR guy to do it.
So he's got that's true. So he's got a lot to think about. But Edmonton Oilers, will they pony up 6x6 for Zach Hyman? I think they might.
They would.
So
they would.
Hey, it's all great. Like, take a little bit less, $1 million or $2 million less, stay and play with Austin and Mitch. Okay. Or I take 6 and I go and play with fucking Connor McDavid. He's going to get the points either way.
Oh, could you imagine McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman?
There you go. So he's going to have a lot to think about. I don't like their chances personally, unless he is so like, I'm not leaving the Leafs. Like, I'm dying, and I'll respect him.
Okay, he didn't sound that way at his presser.
No, it sounded like he's going to see what money's available, and that's probably what he's going to do, because that's what most guys do.
And I don't blame him for that.
No, I don't blame him. But this team
will
not
sounds like, when you look at it, it sounds like, $4 million, $6 million. What's the difference? Stay in Toronto. It's a huge difference.
100%.
$2 million a year is life changing.
Of course it is. That's what he's making right now. Just that. So he's getting a huge fucking significant raise. But no, I don't blame him. But bringing it back to the Leafs, like, losing him is you can't replace him. Irreplaceable, in my opinion, for what he brings to this team.
Unless you bring Connor Brown back.
No, that's not happening.
Is it not?
You think Ottawa would trade him back to the Leafs? Are you crazy? He just led their team in fucking scoring, man. No, that's not happening.
All right.
There's nothing you could give Ottawa. No, it's not happening. No. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Hyman. We'll see what happens. Morgan Riley.
They could have a worse team.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Next year.
If Hyman walks for nothing, which he probably will, that doesn't make them better.
And you're not going to replace that.
It sinks them further. Morgan Riley, if he won't sign a contract extension this summer, you got to trade him, because like I just said, the own rental shit has to end eventually. Shanahan and Dubas are over evaluating where this team really is. They think they're better than they are. They're not going to win the Stanley Cup next year. It ain't happening. They'll be lucky to win a fucking round. Period.
They'll be lucky to make the playoffs.
Exactly. So what are you doing with Morgan Riley? Why not get, like, how many guys, just the whole thing, Chad, how many guys are you going to let go for nothing? Why don't you take Riley and be like, okay, let's get something for this guy, because we're not going to fucking win anyway. I hate that that's where I'm at, but that's where I'm at.
But it's probably the smartest decision. Like, yeah, that is the smartest decision. You have to stop letting these guys just walk for money. Because if they don't make the playoffs or they get knocked out in the first round next year, and without Zach Hyman, and then you lose Riley. And you can't just keep replacing these guys with these things you find on the fringe. You can't just keep finding old guys who will play on minimum contracts or guys who are projects that you have to bring in and sort of rebuild. You need Zach Hyman. You need Morgan Riley. You need good players. You can't win.
But I'm not opposed to trading Morgan Riley.
But you better get something back. What about fuck trading Morgan Riley. What about trading one of the big boys this year to free up the cap space?
Yeah, well, there you go. If you trade William Nylander, and here's why I would trade Nylander and not Mitch Marner right now. William Nylander just came off of his best playoff performance. He's never looked more valuable for his contract as he does right now. Mitch Marner looks like fucking dog shit right now. So, yeah, would I rather clear the 10 whatever Mitch is making? Of course. But I'll take the 7 that Willie's making, and maybe we keep Riley and we keep Hyman. Or we trade Riley anyway and get his $5 million. So look, okay, Morgan Riley, 1 year left on his deal. He's going to want more money. Who knows what the price tag is on that? Bottom line is the Leafs can't afford anything. If they don't move off of one of the top 4 guys, they can't afford to do anything really that is significant to help this team going forward. Does it not make the most amount of sense to trade William Nylander right now?
I guess it makes the most amount of sense, but he's not the guy I want to trade.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though, does it?
No.
He's going to get you the best bang for your buck right now.
Like, we say they're in cap hell and everything is fucked, but you move one of those contracts and all of a sudden you're not in cap hell anymore.
Well, less for sure.
Yeah, all of a sudden you have money to spend to build the roster from top guys down.
$5 million from Freddie. If they trade fucking Nylander, there's $7 million right there. Maybe they trade Riley anyway. There's another $5 million. You don't think Riley would be like open arms, like, okay, I'll go play for the Vancouver Canucks, and maybe we get something back from Vancouver right now? Like, they could open up like close to fucking $20 million here if they make the right fucking moves. But if they don't, and they use Riley as a own rental and they keep Nylander, then they're only going to have like $10 or $12 million to play with to fill out. And you're going to be, you need a goalie. Like, I don't know. And how do you fucking, like, how do you insulate the core again and make it better? I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
You don't. What this playoff proved is that if you shut down Toronto's core, you shut down the Leafs. You beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. You need something outside of that core.
So why do you think upper management is so like?
Because they're the ones that sign these contracts. Their whole thing was,
okay,
we have these great young players. We're going to give them what they want, and we'll build pieces around them.
So
do you win?
Do you believe? Okay, do you think
if Dubas trades one of these 4 players? If he trades JT, Matthews, Marner, and Nylander,
we know 2 of them are not. There's only 2 possibilities there.
Okay, but if he trades any of the 4, he's basically saying, I fucked up.
And I think if he doesn't do that, he's getting fired. This time next year, we'll be doing a podcast about
unless
the Leafs looking for a new
core wins.
It's not happening, Chad.
No, it's not. Like you say, there's no way you're getting Zach Hyman back at $2 million a year. It's
like, I'm not trading Matthews, and Tavares is not going anywhere. Marner's best years are ahead of him, and so are Willie's probably too. But guess what? Tough decisions have to be made when your team is so fucking handcuffed by the fucking salary cap.
And we're not even talking about the fact that Freddie Anderson's going to walk. Are we really confident that Jack Campbell is a number 1 forever?
What if Campbell falters next year?
What if Campbell just was really hot for one season and he goes back to being a 900 save percentage goalie?
I like Jack a lot. I hope he does well, but we don't know how he's going to play next year.
Yeah. You don't have a Carey Price, you don't have a Vasilevsky, you don't have a Marc-Andre Fleury.
No.
You're kind of playing with fire and net.
There'll be goalies available. They'll bring somebody in that could take, like, there'll be, I don't know who, but there'll be somebody there.
You still don't have, like, the guy in net. We all thought Freddie Anderson was.
Fred's not the guy either, though. It's time to move off Fred. There's no doubt about that. It was time to move off
Right, but
Fred.
Is Jack Campbell the guy, or do you have to spend some money to get the guy?
I think Jack could be the guy. I'm willing to give it a shot.
All right, so you're willing to give Campbell a shot.
Yeah, but he needs help. Like, I would go more of a tandem. Like, now maybe they can get a legit, like, 40 games. Get another guy that can play 40 games.
Take the $5 million you were spending on Freddie. You pay Jack less than 2. Maybe spend the equivalent on another goalie.
No, I wouldn't spend the equivalent, but I would take it. I would cut it in half.
Well, what if you got someone who was a legit sort of number 1 or 1A, 1B guy?
Here's another question. Would you sign Jack Campbell to an extension right now?
Yes.
3 million, 3.5.
I would sign him as cheap as I could get him.
I know, but he's like, Jack's thinking, shit, man, this is going to be my first starting job ever. Like, what? I don't know. That's going to be an interesting situation to see what they do in net. But look, for me, this is the last kick at the can. For the management, not necessarily the core, but for the management, for sure, this is the last. It's a lot easier to fucking clean house up top than it is to fucking replace the guys on the ice. It's just salary cap, all this shit. It's just much easier. So this is going to be it. 2021, 2022. We're going to see what Dubas is going to be an incredible offseason. I cannot wait to see what Kyle Dubas has to fucking do here, because it is like, he knows as well as you and I know sitting here right now that this is it. Yeah. This is my last shot at it, or I'm going to be looking for fucking employment.
And one thing Dubas has shown us over the years, he is not afraid to pivot and change. He was all about...
Well, kind of.
Well, away from the core. Like, remember when he first started taking over? He was all about speed and skill. He had little small...
I think he's going to go back to... I think he's going to go back to that.
He might go back to that, but...
I don't think he's doing the veteran shit anymore.
If the gun was at your head and you're the general manager and you know that you could get fired for this, and you don't know if another team's going to pick you up to be the general manager, so your job's on the line, your whole career's on the line.
Yeah, that's tough.
Are you going to say, you know what, I can't trade one of the 4 because I signed them? Or are you going to be like, fuck this, I need to keep my job?
I don't know. He seems like a pretty loyal guy. I think he's going to go down.
Well, what have these players done to be loyal to him?
I get that. I don't think he should do that, but I honestly believe that he's going to go down with the ship here. I think he's going to do it. I think he might listen to offers for Marner. He might listen to offers for Nylander. Maybe he pulls the trigger if something makes sense that really catches his eye.
We talked about this last podcast.
I think he's going down with the ship, dude.
What about Marner for Seth Jones? Which then...
2 seconds. 2 seconds I would do
which that. Then gives you the ability to trade Riley.
Exactly. And what could you get for Riley?
Seth Jones make less than Marner,
but he becomes your number one defense. He would become your number one defenseman,
right? But if you get rid of Riley and Marner, that's $15 million.
Yeah,
Seth Jones.
Jones is gonna. He's gonna want 10.
He's not gonna want 10.
9. Oh yeah, 8 or 9 for.
Okay, 8 or 9 still frees up like 6-7 million.
Yeah. Okay. And then what else could you do with that? And what could you get back in a Riley trade? What could you get from Vancouver for Morgan Riley? I'm sure Vancouver would love to have Morgan Riley.
Yeah, they would.
What could you get for Morgan Riley from Vancouver? I don't even know where to begin speculation wise. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but you could really, there's a couple moves they could make that would really give this team a different look. And that's what I think they need. If they run it back with the same 4 up front and Riley again, like, I don't know, man. Riley's been there the longest now through all of these fucking losses. Like, I'm not pinning it on him, but like, I'm sure he might be like, change of scenery might not be the worst fucking thing.
Yeah, he may want, or maybe he wants to come back and prove that he can win, but it doesn't matter. It's up to the general manager right now to do something. Do something. Yeah. And keep the guys who want to win. Keep Zach Hyman.
It's just going to be impossible if they're unwilling to move off of the core four, it's just they can't. It's literally not possible. What are they going to add another $5 million player? Like, come on. You got Muzzin making 5. You got Brody making 5. Like, Riley's making 5. You can't sign Hyman to 5. You can't do it unless you move off of somebody. And I don't see how they let, like going back to what we said, talking about heart and soul and killer instinct. If they move off of Zach Hyman for nothing and they just they draw the line at Zach Hyman, he's the guy that is like, no, we can't move Willie because sorry, Zach, Willie's too important. And maybe that makes sense long-term. I don't know how old Willie is compared to Hyman. I don't know how old Willie is now. 26, 27. I don't know. He's not a kid anymore.
No, he's not a kid anymore. He's still in his prime. But these are the decisions that have to be made. And I don't envy Dubas for the offseason that he has coming.
This is like the biggest offseason. Like, I have no idea how they fix this. I have no idea. Like, I don't even trade Riley, maybe, whatever, trade Nylander. Okay, that's easy to say. I don't know how you fucking fix this. I have no idea.
All I know is you can't.
This is a shit show.
You can't use the same recipe because the fucking meal that comes out has been shit.
Right. But
you have to change up the ingredients.
But is the same recipe keeping the core and insulating it again? Is that where their head's at? Because if that's the case.
That seems to be what they want to do.
Okay.
Like, they may let Hyman walk. They may, like you say, what do you call it? Your own rental?
Yeah, the own rental.
Rental. They may make Riley an own rental.
But that's bad management. That's bad management.
I know, but they may believe they can win the cup by letting Hyman walk and just filling it out with Galchenyuks and Spetzes and Thorntons and Simmons around the edges.
Okay, so here, I'm just going to be real here for a second, like really real. If I'm Kyle Dubas, like, I know Dubas is a smart guy. If I'm Kyle Dubas right now, I can't be thinking, okay, if I come back with these guys, this is my last chance at, like, I'm Kyle Dubas right now. This is my last chance of it. If I go back at it with these same guys, I think they're going to let me down again, and it's going to cost me my job. So I need to do something different here, or else I'm going to be fucking, like, out of work. And these guys are still going to be here laughing all the way to the fucking bank. That's the truth. That's how I see it.
Because they still get paid by the contract you signed.
Yeah, like, that's how I see it. So if I'm Kyle right now, Kyle and Shanny, they have to know going into this next season, this is it. They're out of chances. This is it. No more chances. So this offseason is going to be insane to see what Dubas has the fucking balls to do. Is he willing to move off the core that he said he never would?
Will he break up the core?
Because it's ultimately going to cost him his job if he doesn't. Because it's gonna.
Yeah, will he break up the core, or will he try one more time at his philosophy of heavy contracts on the forwards and then spreading out what you have left?
What do you think? What do you think he does?
I don't think he's going to trade any of the top 4.
I think he runs it back. I think he goes down.
I think he
goes down with the ship.
I think he tries the same thing. He
Which is
brings in another Joe Thornton type guy. He brings in another couple guys who will take minimum contracts. And then when the Leafs lose in the first round, he gets fired. A new GM comes in and blows up the core.
So we're looking at another fucking rebuild. Great.
Not a rebuild, a retool.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, man, I hate to say this, but this, honestly, it does remind me a lot of that season, the shortened season where the Leafs, what was it, 2012-13, when they lost in 7 to Boston? Was that what it was, 2012-13, or was it 12-13? Anyway.
It was 2013.
Okay, so
but I know what you're getting at.
Well, it reminds me a lot of that. I hate to go here, but I'm gonna do it anyway because they were that close against Boston, even though they collapsed. Going into the next season, it was just like, oh man, like this team is good. They can probably do it. Like if we add a little bit,
I think this is different.
And here comes Dave Bolin, and here comes Dave Clarkson, and like it's like that's what they did.
I know, but this is different because that team thought we are so close. We almost beat the Boston Bruins, who went to the Stanley Cup final that year and lost to the Chicago Blackhawks. We're so close. This year, I think it's a little different because you're not thinking we're so close. A part of you has to think we're so far away.
That's not the message, though.
That's not the message. But how can you watch this team collapse year after year?
I know. Like, are they delusional though? I don't think they're close?
Dave Bull and Dave Clarkson, but I think it's. I think you're going to see a carbon copy of last offseason.
Do they think they're closer? That's what I'm saying. Do they think they're close? Management, do they actually believe they're closer than they are? No, Leaf.
They do.
No Leaf fan in their right mind thinks that this fucking team has what it takes to win a Stanley. Maybe they win a round. Woohoo! No Leaf fan in their right mind thinks that this team is capable of winning a Stanley Cup. Are you kidding me?
No.
Like, let's get serious here.
Especially if you lose Zach Hyman. And
so is that not the fucking goal here? Like, what are we talking about? Do whatever you need to do. I don't give a fuck if you have to trade Mitch Marner. Do it. If you have to trade William Nylander, do it. Riley, same fucking thing. If it makes the team better, if it brings you a Seth Jones or it brings you somebody who I'm not even thinking of, I don't know, or a couple guys, like change it up, something that makes the team better, because that ain't fucking working. It hasn't been working. It's not working, and it won't work next year.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Look at the teams who are always standing or seem to be always standing near the end of the playoffs. They are the teams that aren't afraid to do that. They're the teams who are like, it's not working, boom. Or they're the teams that when they have to negotiate a rookie who's coming off his entry level, they're like, you get a bridge contract or we're not going to give you this kind of money. The Leafs didn't do that.
Dude,
they doubled down on players who hadn't won shit.
Yep, that's right.
Like, look at Braden Point. Tampa said Braden Point, yeah, you've won a couple rounds in the playoffs, but we're going to give you a bridge contract.
Guys.
$6 million. Yeah, only three. And everyone's like, well, it's only 3 years, $6 million. Doesn't matter.
What's Kucherov
I wish
8 or 9?
Yeah. I wish Mitch was on a bridge contract right now.
Oh, my God.
Mitch makes more than Braden Point. He makes more than Kucherov. He makes more. He makes more than Stamkos.
These guys might run it back-to-back championships. Seriously. Tampa's got as good a shot as any of the 4 teams remaining to win the Cup.
And then you look at a guy like Pasternak, who just took less money because he's like, I want to win. And if I ask for an astronomical amount of money, my team can't we can't put a good team on the ice.
That's true.
So I'll take $6.5 million. And then his response is, oh my God, like growing up, my family would have loved to make this kind of money. We never came anywhere close to this.
No, of course.
But fucking Mitch had to sit out. Mitch fought harder for his contract than he did in the playoffs.
No, without a doubt. Okay, so I have something I want to end it on, but a little unexpected addition of wet puck dry stick.
Whoa, what?
Couple quick, easy ones for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last of the 2020-2021 season, wet puck or dry stick. All right, Dale. You go first. I don't have any questions ready.
I got a couple.
I didn't know we were gonna do wet.
Oh,
puck
I wasn't. I
addressing.
just I've got some in my notes, and I've got some things in my notes.
But
and
I
it's
will
just
tell
like
you
question
this.
mark, question mark, question mark.
Since they lost to the Habs, I have had a dry stick
Super.
for weeks. There's no wet puck.
No, there's no wet puck. Will the Toronto Maple Leafs be a better team in 2021, 2022, or a worse team in 2021, 2022? Record-wise, everything. Just will they be better or will they be worse?
Dry stick. They'll be worse.
Way worse.
Way worse. There's no way. Their competition's going to be better because they're back in the Atlantic Division. Their team's going to be worse because they're going to, unless they pull off some trades, they're going to lose some of the guys they have. There's no way.
Okay, ready for this one? No, I agree.
That's
100%.
a dry stick.
I'm just going to keep it rolling here. These might all be dry sticks. Will the Toronto Maple Leafs going back to the Atlantic Division with the Bruins, the Panthers, the Lightning, Montreal? I don't know. Whatever. Buffalo, Detroit.
Yeah.
Ottawa's going to be better.
Okay. Will they what?
Next year's Leafs team sniff the playoffs or not even fucking close?
Make the playoffs or sniff the playoffs?
Make.
Well, you said sniff. Big difference between make and sniff.
Well, they might not sniff either, but I'm going to go with make. Do they make the playoffs?
Wet puck.
Okay. Well, I like that. You had to think about it though.
There
is a rumor going around that maybe they go back to Eastern Western Conference. Did you hear that? And they do away with the divisions. So it would just be the top 8 teams in the East and the
Yeah, but Pierre LeBrun talked about that and said that it probably wouldn't be next year. It would be the year after. But the NHL is thinking about that. But just because of everything going on, it's just easier for them to go back to the 4 divisions.
I am all
with the Kraken coming in.
Yeah. I am all for going back to the East and the West. Like, I would love to have one play, like just have the 2.
Yeah, because you can come 4th place in the Atlantic.
Yeah, fuck winning your division, man. Like, just
you can come 4th place in the Atlantic and have the 4th best record in the league.
Yeah. And miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs, or you're a fucking wild card and you have to play a number 1 seed.
That's right.
So it doesn't.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. Ready for this one?
I'm ready.
This is kind of a two for one. This will be the last one. How far away are we from Wafflegate 2.0?
Oh, we're a ways away from Waffle.
/ how far away are we from the Boo Birds coming back to Scotiabank Arena? Let's be honest. Let's think about this now.
We're not far away from the Boo Birds coming back. I have a feeling that they could get booed on opening night.
I'll tell you right now, game 5, 6, game 5, and probably not game 5. Game 7, if fans were in the building, like packed, Scotiabank, they would have been getting fucking booed hard.
Yeah,
hard.
So would the Jets, though.
Sure. Yep, 100%.
But yeah, you're right.
But hang on. Is the love affair over with Mitch and Austin and Willie and all the? It's over, right? The love affair is over. It's like guys, over. Yeah, it's over.
The whole honeymoon and whole
Wafflegate 2.0.
Yeah. This is turned into that relationship where now you're walking into the bathroom and there's fucking skid mark underwear on the ground and you're like, what the hell? It's not pretty anymore.
No,
it's real now.
Anymore.
It's real.
Yeah, it's really real.
It's really real.
So I'm sorry. How far away are we from the Boo Birds and Wafflegate 2.0?
We are like one loss away from the Boo Birds. Wafflegate, I think, would take a little more time. You do have the Rocket Richard winner and stuff on the team. This isn't the Dion Phaneuf.
Oh, the fan base is fucking heated, bro. The fan base is heated like I've never seen them. But
they are heated. But at the same time,
what did you say the Waffles meant? By the way, wake up.
Wake up.
Yeah, wake up. It's breakfast time. Wake up, fuckers.
Wake
Here's some
up.
waffles.
That's
Wake the fuck up.
what I read. I don't know what it meant, but it's fucking genius.
Okay, so done with wet puck or dry stick, but Austin
All right.
Matthews was
Okay,
nominated.
how my wet puck or dry stick? How close are we to having fans just bring signs that say dry stick into the arena? Just huge signs that say you guys are a bunch of fucking dry sticks.
I think we are a dry stick on the dry stick signs. As of right now. We'll see after another season. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. The dry sticks could be a new Wafflegate. But
we should get t-shirts that just say dry stick and t-shirts that just say wet puck, and depending on how you like it,
put one on.
put one on.
Whichever one you're feeling that day.
Yeah, if you're like today's a dry stick day, you wear a dry stick shirt. Mm-hmm. Today's a wet puck day.
100%. So anyway,
good day, wet puck.
We're winding this puppy down. Yeah, Austin Matthews nominated for the Hart Trophy with Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon. Wins the Rocket. What did he get nominated for? The Lady Byng? Didn't he get nominated for 2 other fucking trophies too?
Good for him. Not the Lady Byng, chance he wins the Hart.
Oh, 0 chance. But
he was nominated.
Last time a Leaf was even nominated, like
Doug Gilmour, 1993.
Insane, man. So, like we've been saying, shitty playoffs, but like this guy is like
he's a legit superstar.
He's the best player that's ever played for the team. I still won't back away from that, but we'll see what happens in the playoffs. We'll see what they were comparing stats with Dave Keon the other day. Him and like through their first however many games, it's crazy. But anyway, so the last thing I'll say to wrap it up, and then you can take it home, whatever you want to say. I think that I don't know. I'm not sure if Kyle Dubas goes back to like the vets. I think he might go back to like his original speed, skill, this kind of thing. I kind of think now if he sticks with the core 4 that you're locked into, these are your vets. This is it. Like Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander. These are now your vets.
Yeah. No more babysitters.
No, and exactly.
No more bringing in Joe Thornton to be like
no. It's
the talk in the room. Oh, actually, bring back Jason Spezza, please.
Spezza, 100%. But it's ultimately up to Spezza's done everything he can to try to. Spezza tried to pull them through the Columbus series, and he tried to pull them through the Montreal series. And they wouldn't go with them.
Next year, I'm getting a Spezza. If he's on the team, I'm getting a Spezza jersey, even though I know it's probably only good for that one season.
Yeah, Spezza.
And he's going to be the guy we talk about. We're going to come up with a whole segment about Jason Spezza.
Yeah, we're going to include the laugh big time. Love it. But look, dude, I think that like if they roll it back with the core and like they are the vets. We're not giving you a Thornton. We're not giving you a Simmons. You guys fucking figure it out. And they will be surrounded by younger pieces because literally they can't afford anything else if they don't move off of the core. Take it home, Chatty.
All right, for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe, check out our videos. Go to our website, tipinsportsmedia.com. You can find everything to do with the podcast, every place to listen to it. It's all there. Follow us on Twitter at the Tip In podcast. And until the Leafs make a trade or free agency or some shit happens, me and Dale are taking the summer off. Dale's going with Lisa Turtle to Hawaii. I'm going with Jesse Spano to New York to try on leather jackets. It's going to be the best summer ever. Check out our new podcast, Kelly Jesse, where we're just going to
you better working overtime.
We are just going to talk about everything. Ed Belfour is going to be a guest on the show. He's going to come on Zoom with nothing on but the camera.
And just so everyone is aware, the Tip In Maple, we had to think long and hard about this.
We almost retired.
Not an easy decision. Not easy to go through another 82 game schedule with these fucking dudes. But we got jobs on the line. We're going to see what's up. Dubas, Shanny, can they pull a rabbit here? Will the boys on the ice show up for them? A lot of things remain to be seen. It will be an interesting season as much as this fucking postseason sucked. but it's going to be an interesting season next year. It's going to be hard for us to get through 82 games, but hopefully we'll have a lot of tips and we'll have many other stories about some of our favorite Brazzers encounters. And that will keep us going through a long, cold, hard winter of another Toronto Maple Leafs fucking season.
That is true. That is true. That will get us through the long, hard, cold winter. So, for the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And until something happens, we will.
Waiting for something to happen. Catch you later.
Go Knights.
Vegas.